beaders, it's Gina from orchidandopal.com, and I'm back with the October 2019 bargain bead box. This is one of the most popular subscriptions I open on my channel, and it's understandable as to why. It is a great deal, and it is one of my favorite subscriptions, and I will continue to subscribe and share it for as long as possible. And I love coming up with creations from these collections, typically each month. So I don't know what's in here as far as the theme. I have absolutely no idea, but it's always so well put together. This particular bag is $17.95 a month shipped. That includes US shipping. It's an awesome deal, like I said. I will leave the link down below if you're interested in signing up, and I do have a $2 off coupon code, which is Opal2. You can use that code at checkout to save $2 off your first month if you are a new subscriber, which would make your first month only $15.95. So we have everything, as you can see, in the tissue paper, and we have our note and our theme here on the box. We can see that our theme is called foliage, so it looks like they're going along with the autumn theme. Below that is a coupon code that they always include. If you are a subscriber, you can use that on their sister site Bead Box Bargains, which I've shared here a number of times as well. And on the back, you can see that they have a nice list listing all 17 things that are going to be in this month's collection. So great value here. We'll go ahead and get into it and take a closer look at all these items one by one. Alright, so here's a look at the first bag, and by the way, the collection of these little bags comes in a nice organza bag that is great for reusing. So like I said, this is the first bag. It contains 100 pieces of 4mm Chinese crystal bicone beads, and the color is Topaz AB. It's typical that we receive a strand of Chinese crystal bicones like that. So nothing too fancy, but it's a great item to have, a great staple to add to the stash, and you do get a nice collection of colors of these over time. These can be a lot of fun to use in both bead stringing and weaving, and what a beautiful sparkly warm golden color that is. Here's a peek at our second bag. This says it contains 2 pieces of 26mm cut glass leaf pendants in jade green. That color looks delicious. So let's take a closer look at that in the shape. And here is a look at the front of these beads. Just a little bit rough on mine right here. I could probably poke those out with a bead awl, so no big deal on that. The holes look decent on them. They are top drilled, and they do have the look of jade, which is pretty cool. There is the carving on the front of that. And that's another thing I really appreciate about the bargain bead box, is not only that they coordinate things so well and give you a great variety of things that go well together, but you get a lot of different things that you may not have picked up on your own that can really make your pieces stand out and make you think a little bit more creatively and push you outside of your comfort zone. So this is bag number 3. This contains a 15-inch strand of 8mm Carnelian round beads. We have a nice long strand of these here. You get quite a few. These are very glossy. That color is so vibrant. There is a note that these are probably heat treated and dyed, so the color is likely enhanced. But I mean, honestly, that's so common with a lot of your stone beads, and you're getting such a great deal on this. So, I mean, what do you really expect? So these are a beautiful pumpkin color. They're a little bit transparent, and I can see they're going to be a great accent to go with other things in the collection that we see today. Here's a look at bag number 4, and this contains 2 sets of leaf toggle clasps. And these are a bag of clasps that is noted as being lead-free and nickel-free. And here's a closer look at the shape of these and all the details. These are so beautiful. They kind of remind me of grape leaves. And actually, I think that's a little grape on the toggle bar. That's very cool. I just made a grapevine necklace that I shared very recently, and these are even in kind of an antique copper tone. I could have actually pulled these out for that necklace. I just love how toggle clasps can have such a great variety of designs, and they're so easy to get on and off. And by the way, here is a look at the back. And then next up is bag number 5. This contains a 7.5-inch strand of 6x4mm Chinese crystal beads in the color matte green iris. Such a cool color this is. I love it. This is kind of a light greenish or light bluish gray, and the matte finish gives these a really toned down but also metallic effect. And depending on how the light hits them, you can see some different tones that are pulled out of these beads. So these will be a nice accent here to our collection also. All right, next up we have bag number 6, and this contains 20 pieces of 15 by 10 millimeter leaf links. These are also marked as being lead-free and nickel-free. Always love getting links and look how many you get. This is pretty typical of the bargain bead boxes. They don't just give you one or two. You get a nice bag worth of these components. It's amazing all the different things you can create just from one package. 20 of these. And it looks like these are double-sided. They are the same on the front and the back. It is a beautiful shade of antique copper, which is going to go well with our other findings. Next is bag number 7. This contains 20 pieces of 7mm leaf beads. These are also lead-free and nickel-free. Love getting spacers, and how appropriate that we got some that are in a leaf shape to go with our theme. Here is a close-up look at these with the hole running up and down the bead through there. Always great to have some of these on hand. Space out some of your glass or gemstone beads and add in those extra details. Next up, we have bag number 8. This contains a strand of 6mm silver leaf jasper round beads, and this is a 7.5-inch strand. Isn't it great we get stone beads in these collections? Such a great perk of the bargain bead box, such a great variety, and not just glass, but also such interesting stones. So these have a greenish grayish cast to them as well, also a little bit of tan and brown going in there, very earthy. They're all a little bit different, which is one thing I love about using the gemstone beads. You can really look closely at them and pull out all sorts of different colors when you're putting your designs together. All right, next up is bag number 9, and this contains a 7.5-inch strand of 4x3mm Chinese crystal beads in matte goldenrod AB. So these again are the matte finish, and I love it when they combine the matte finish with the AB. Don't these look like they're glowing? That is so cool. These are actually pretty small. I know they look big. Everything looks so much bigger up close on the screen, but I do want to give you a nice close-up look at what these look like. It is kind of a nude tan type color, pretty neutral. It'll go well with a lot of different things, especially what you see here today. And it's that AB that definitely gives these that little bit of a wow factor. Otherwise, they're just some basic matte rondelles, but that touch of AB finish on part of the bead just makes them so fun to look at. Alright, then we have bag number 10, and this contains 20 pieces of 7mm leaf bead caps. Again, these are lead-free and nickel-free. Let's get a close-up look at the design on these bead caps. It's always fun to take a close-up look at these, and you can see these have a little leafy design on them, kind of swirled around the hole, and again in the coordinating antique copper finish. Then we have bag number 11, which contains a 40mm oval leaf pendant. This one is marked as lead-free, and I think this is absolutely beautiful. It's kind of minimal, which I tend to like. I do like the antique copper as well, coordinates with our other findings. Just that simple geometric shape in the back with a kind of clean lines. Then you have the single leaf here in the front with some interesting detail on that. So lots of different directions that I'm sure you can go in with this pendant, and can't wait to see what you guys come up with all these things. It's always fun to see what everybody shares and everybody's take on all these different components, I think. All right, then we have bag number 12, which contains 1 meter of 5mm steel oval jewelry chain, this one being marked as lead-free and nickel-free as well. Love getting the chain. I feel like a broken record, but what can I say? I love getting it. We get a bag of chain typically every month with the bargain bead box, which comes in so handy. And I always tend to use it in multiple projects because you get pretty much, you know, what's almost equivalent to 3 feet. So it really does go a long way. These links are always great to work with because they have that little bit of a split in them, so you can split them apart instead of having to use wire cutters to clip them. That's something I like to see. Then bag number 13, this contains 12 pieces of 10mm crystal faceted half matte barrel beads in green iris. These are really sparkly just because of the way that these are faceted. I love the fact that they have the matte finish on either end, and then the inside has almost a table cut effect, just the way these are faceted in a kind of a teardrop type fashion there. Kind of remind me of the Czech glass cathedral beads. These are nice and chunky, being that they are the 10mm size. And I would say their color is kind of in that similar greenish grayish look as the silver leaf jasper that we saw, at least some of those beads, and then also the matte green iris. All right, bag number 14, we have another strand of beads. These are a 7.5-inch strand of 10mm gemstones. These are Chrysanthemum Jasper or coffee agate. And we'll have to pop these out of the bag to get a closer look because I can't really tell myself until I get these out. But these are so interesting. They're different than anything I have. They're certainly very earthy. They look very raw and natural. You get all different tones in here, from chocolate brown to even some mustard yellow and some very dark coffee brown type shades there. The texture is so interesting. They're not glossy and they're not completely smooth. They have this kind of a cratered texture to them. I'm not one who's typically drawn to the more earthy tones. You know, we all have our favorites, but I do think these are so cool, and I can appreciate the beauty in these, the textures and the colors. Just wow, they're really gonna look great in the right piece, I think. Then we're getting to bag number 15, and this says it contains 5 pieces of approximately 27 to 40 millimeter red agate oval drop beads. These are something that I was eyeing immediately when I opened the organza bag. I mean, my eye was just drawn to these, so I couldn't wait to get to them so we could get a closer look. But wow, look at all the striations of pumpkin orange and cinnamon and mustard yellow and white and clear, all different tones going on in here that are perfect for the fall season. I love the shape of these also because it's kind of like an understated leaf type shape, this kind of ellipse where it's an oval with the 2 ends that are pointed. And I'm sure everybody's are going to be different. That's the nature of getting stone pendants like this. We're all going to have kind of a different variety. I'm going to flip mine over and see, even flipping them over, you get a different effect. Like all these grays and blacks popped up on this side that didn't show up on this side. So that's the beauty of getting these stones. They're just all going to be different. You can really play up the tones that are in each of them. And you're getting 5. I mean, you could use these all in one piece, like in one necklace all at the front, or you could split them up and use them in different pieces. So just another example of the fact that I think Bargain Bead Box is very generous with the amount that they send every month. All right, bag number 16 contains 2 pieces of 32 millimeter leaf pendants. These are also lead-free and nickel-free. And if we didn't have enough fun components to work with already, you get 2 of these gorgeous pendants. I love anything leafy or floral, so this theme is going to make me happy. Most of you guys know that. Here's a look at the back and how you could connect these pendants, and just the beautiful antique bronze that coordinates very well. I like the movement of these leaves as well, or I should say the illusion of movement. You can see how they're kind of wavy and they're not just a flat leaf. It makes them much more interesting. And we still have one more bag. This is our last bag actually, and this contains 2 pieces of 28 millimeter tree chandelier focals, also lead free and nickel free. And we will take a closer look at these. These are really cool, and you could actually bead around them. You could add gemstone chips. You could use these in resin. With things like this that have so many different openings, there's really a lot of possibilities to go to town creatively. And then of course you could also just use them as is, as connectors. You can see there's even 3 holes on this side where you could even use them to connect a multi-strand necklace, for an example. So I gotta say, I think Bargain Bead Box hit it out of the park again. I've been getting this subscription for probably going on almost 2 years now, 1.5 years at least, and it is always such an amazing value. If you don't have a very large budget for beading, and if you like bead stringing, I've also used tons of their beads and components in bead weaving as well, but I'm just saying bead stringing in particular because it's a little bit more obvious. And if you're looking for not just beads, but also components, your findings, pendants, and a collection that's almost ready to go. I mean, you'll need other things to put along with this, but you get, 90% of what you would need to make some really beautiful jewelry. It's just an amazing value, and they're so consistent. They're also great with their customer service. If you need any help or have questions, you can reach out to them on their website or on their Facebook page, and you can tell that they really care about what they do. And like I said, this is one of the most popular subscriptions on my channel. I know so many of you guys get this one, and you can see for good reason. So if you're interested in signing up for the subscription, if you're new to it, you can definitely check out lots of past unboxing videos that I have. I have a whole entire playlist just for Bargain Bead Box. You can also check the link down below in the description section below the video and use that coupon code OPAL2 to save yourself $2 off your first month. Please feel free to leave me a comment down below. I know some of you have already gotten this particular collection. Maybe you've already started playing with it, so let me know what you think about it, what you think of the the bargain bead box, anything you'd like to say down below. And I hope you guys have a fabulous rest of your day. And as always, happy beading. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. For more content like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of my latest videos. You can check out the information section below this video for links to all my social media handles, recommended products, and my shop and blog at orchidandopal.com. Thanks for watching.